Alright guys, so in the last video we made this right here, which is half bar drivetrain, and today we're going to be putting this all together into a full drivetrain with odometry. So let's get started. So first of all, let's go into the section for let's go into the assemblies first, and let's make a new assembly. So let's make a new design, and into this design, what we're going to do is we're going to put our U channel right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put two of these, which are quad blocks. So this right here is going to be how we attach it to our actual drivetrain. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to joint this, hold control and click. So now once again, hold control and click. There we go. Now let's do that same thing on this other side. So you can just kind of go over here, do that. Just move this over to here. Let's put that there. So let's joint this again. Let's put it right there. There we go. Perfect. So this is kind of like our basic setup. So from here, what we're going to do is let's put in some of these odometry pods. So odometry is basically odometry is like a pair of dead wheels, and these dead wheels help you determine where your robot is on the field. So this is like super important for every robot, especially for autonomous. So what we're going to do is we're gonna put two of these. Some odometry modules use 3 pods, but for these Go Builda ones, they only use 2. So that's what we're going to do. So actually, before we joint that, let's actually open this up. And what we can actually do here is we can select everything. You can right click on it. Let's see if we can just, okay, actually, why don't we just do that here? So we can just select this here, and we can just rigid group it. So that's going to keep all of the pieces of it together. So here we go. So let's joint this. And why don't we put it right there? Looks like a good spot. So this is going to be, let's say this is our Y direction, for example. Yeah, it's going to be our Y direction. So now that means we need one more odometry pod for the X direction. Put one more in. Okay, there we go. So now let's right click on this again. So let's enter that. Right click here, and we can rigid group it. So now that we did all that, now we can attach this one. So we can press J to joint this, and let's kind of go inside here. Let's put it right there. So let's zoom out. Let's see how that's gonna look. Actually, okay, let's cancel that. Let's put it closer to the other side to try and kind of balance everything out. So let's go like to this one right here. So let's go next one in. So let's try and let's get this one. Let's look at that. Okay, let's see. There we go. And this right here is our first Q channel assembly. So let's save this. Let's name it U channel with auto for odometry. Okay, there we go. So actually, let me make sure that I actually put this in the assemblies. It's in the wrong folder right now, so let's move this. Let's put this into assemblies. Let's move that right there. There we go. So now what we can do is take a look in our assemblies. There it is. So now let's actually create a new design. And this right here, just drag in. Let's drag in 2 of these. Let's see, let's drag it. Let's press OK there. Let's drag in the second one. Let's move it out. Now, why don't we flip this 180 degrees? There we go. So because our drivetrain is symmetrical, we can just use the same exact model from one side on the other side. So let's also drag in this. This is going to be what connects them. So let's go up. Okay, there we go. Let's actually just move this over to this side for now. And we can hide that one just for the sake of this. So let's see, why don't we create a sketch right here, and let's create a center rectangle. It doesn't really matter where you make it. Let's just make sure that it is 32 by 32. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press on this line and press D. Now we're going to press on this top line. Now let's drag this out over here. Let's make this 21. There we go. And now we're going to do the same thing by pressing on this line, D, this line. I'm going to drag up. And this is going to be 15. So it looks like we dimensioned it from the wrong spot. Let's actually get rid of that. So press on this line right here. Press D. Press on this line right here. So it still dimensions it from the middle, which is not quite what we want. So here we go. Let's draw a temporary line then. Just like that. Now what we can do is we can actually dimension this line to be 15. There we go. So yeah, so that looks good. So let's just check that everything is gonna fit correctly with this. So if we press J to join, press on that. Let's go right on over to here. Let's put that right there. Press enter. Okay, so how's that looking? It's looking pretty good, yeah. Okay, so now that we know our measurements, what we can do is we can go on over here to our right inner plate and let's reconstruct that. So let's create a sketch and let's go on over to here. Let's create a center rectangle. So again, we'll just kind of make it 32 by 32. There we go. Now we're going to press D. We're going to dimension it just like this, 21. And we're going to make a line from here to there. Press D to dimension that. And make that one 15. There we go. So now we can actually make this whole rectangle construction. And now let's make a circle. Just like this, 4.1. Now let's create a rectangular pattern. So once again, 2, 2. We know the distance here, we can just do 32. And just gonna drag this down, by 32. There we go. So now let's also recreate the same thing on the other side. What we can actually do is we can make a construction line right here straight through the middle, and we can actually do symmetry. So if we select, let's see, symmetry, okay, so let's select this, let's select that. Actually, well, maybe I can just select this pattern here. Nope. Okay, so if I do, okay, so that's actually not an ideal way to do this. Okay, let's just do it the old way. Let's just grab a line. So we know that it's going to be 15, right? So now let's go on over to here. Let's grab our rectangle, center rectangle. Let's make it 32 by 32. There we go. Now let me press on this, press D. Let's press on that. Let's press 21. And now what we can do is we can make these two coincide right there. And now that should be good. Okay, there we go. So now let's create that same rectangular pattern. First, we actually have to create our circle. So let's make this 4.1. Let's press X there. Rectangular pattern. So 2, 2. We can actually just go right here and we can just do 32. Oops. Let's go back to that. Let's do 2, 2, 32, and 32. Once again, this is why I guess you should drag. So let's just go over here to edit this. Let's make this negative 32. There we go. Okay, so now what we can do is let's select all of these. And we're gonna extrude them. So select this, let's select this one, and we're going to extrude them to, oh, it's not, that's, oh, forgot to hit the E key. There we go. There. There, there. And there. Hit E this time. And let's extrude it all the way to here. There we go. So now, let's save this. Okay. There. Now, let's update the design in here. Let's see how that looks. Okay, yeah, that's looking really good. Let's also update the design in here. Okay, yeah. That is looking good. Okay. So now if we were to, let's show this one. Let's select that one, let's press M. Actually move this whole thing over just to make it easier for us to work with. There we go. And now what we can do is we can press J to join that. And let's join it to there. Oops, wrong order. So we actually want to join this to that. So let's press OK. There we go. Okay, so now this is already looking very good. So now let's just add in our final piece. So let's go on over to, well, first let's save this design. Name this full DT. Let's save that. There we go. And now what we can do is let's create a new design. And let's go on over to imports. Let's grab another one of these U channels. And let's grab some more of these quad blocks. So this is going to be the second U channel, just to kind of give our drivetrain some more support. So let's join that to that. There we go. And this one as well. Let's okay, let's join. We can just join, oops, join that to that right there. Okay, there it is. So now we can just save this. Let's name this just U channel with quad blocks. There we go. We can save that. So now we can go on over to our full drivetrain. Once again, I saved this in the wrong spot. You want to keep all your files organized, so I'm going to move this back into the assemblies. Let's move that over there. So let's go into our imports, assemblies. So now we want to drag in this U channel with quad blocks. And let's just drag that out there. There it is. Okay, so now we can just join to this. Go right on over to here. Let's join that there. Okay. And there it is. This is just a very basic drivetrain. You'll notice in the middle here you have space for your wires. You can put your control hub up here. You can like pull all your wires through here. And you should have plenty of space. The odometry is nice and set up. It should spring down. And yeah, this is just a super basic drivetrain. The next step to this would probably be pocketing the walls here, but there's no reason for us to go into that in this tutorial. Okay, so actually, just one more thing. So what you're gonna want to do actually is we're actually gonna want to add some more holes here on our inner plate. So what we can do is we can make a new sketch. Let's show sketch number 5. Let's project these middle 2 dots. You can press OK. So now let's create a center rectangle. Make it 16. Okay, perfect, 16 by 16. Let's dimension this just in case. There we go. Now we can do that same thing on this side. 16 by 16. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select this. We're going to press M. We are going to rotate it by 45 degrees. Now let's do the same thing over here. Press M and we're going to rotate it by 45 degrees. So now we're gonna use circles. I don't think we can do a pattern here because it's kind of odd. So 4.1, 4.1, and 4.1. So now let's put another one, 4.1 right there. Let's put a few more. and right there, 4.1. So now we can, we're working on this side. So that's, here we go. So let me actually just delete that. Don't need that anymore. And don't need that anymore. So we can just select all of this, that. There we go. Just like that. Now let's extrude back over to this side. Press enter. There we go. So now let's save this. Okay. Now what we can do is we can go back over here. Let's reload this. There we go. Now all of that should appear. And now let's actually go over to our full drivetrain as well. Let's reload that. There we go. So now what we've actually done is, let me hide one side of, let me just hide this whole, why do I have 3 of these? Which one of these is useless? There we go. Let me hide this one, for example. So now what we've done is we've lined up these holes here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can also screw in there if we need to. So that should make this a lot more versatile for actually attaching it. There you go. Completed drivetrain. So just make sure to save everything. So right back here, save this as well. And yeah, that is it. Here's the completed drivetrain.